All right, guys, it's a beautiful day. Happy Tuesday. So happy that you're here. So excited. I know I say that every week, but I am. I'm happy you're here. I'm happy that you're executing. So, this is the domino effect, right? This is the channel for doers who are ready to execute. We provide you tips, resources, and how you're going to access capital, even providing you with some unique success stories and ways we were able to step in and help businesses with access capital. I started this channel because I have a true passion for helping female founders get access to capital, for helping minority founders get access to capital, for helping entrepreneurs connect with resources, and for building this ecosystem that really supports ownership and generational wealth and community and raising capital. So, guys, it's really important that you're aware of what are the resources and access to capital that are available. So do you need $100,000 to scale your business or your investment? In today's training, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that. My name is Dominique, and this is the Domino Effect. If you don't know who I am, I'm on a mission to help entrepreneurs access capital. I'm on a mission to help businesses scale. I'm on a mission to help 150 businesses access 0% interest funding. And we want to drive 1 billion funding into communities. Guys, we've got a big vision and a big plan. So we help businesses with getting 0% interest funding for businesses or investment opportunities. This could be a coaching program, a trading program, a real estate fund, a real estate project, an e-commerce store, a brick and mortar business. I mean, literally anything we can help you with in any industry to help you start and scale your business. So in today's training, I'm going to break down everything that you need to do in order to access 0% interest funding. It's actually a lot faster than you may think. And you can access anywhere between $50 to $100,000, $50,000 or more to start or invest in any opportunity that you want. So I'm going to break down these 5 steps for you so that way you can know exactly what to do. So the first step you're going to want to do before you apply for any type of 0% interest funding is create an LLC. Now, there's a huge difference between applying between personal cards and business cards. So the biggest difference between applying from personal and business is you can max out the business credit cards without having any impact to your credit score. So before I get into the steps of how to access the 0% interest funding, you're probably asking yourself, what is 0% interest funding? And can I actually get money with no interest? Is this actually possible for me? And yes, guys, it actually does exist. It is available. Really, all it is just a promotional period offer on a brand new credit card account. So when you're opening up a credit card, there are some credit cards that offer this promotional APR. And usually, it's for around 12 months. It's not for the entire duration that you own the card, but usually it's around 12 to 18 months from when you open the account. And the 0% interest can actually allow you to inject a large amount of capital into a business or an investment, a startup venture, without any interest as long as you pay the minimum payment, which is usually 1 to 2% of the balance that you owe. So now that you know what 0% interest funding is, let's talk about how the steps that you can take to actually start diving in to access this funding. And if this is something that you're looking for some help with, click the link in my description. I actually have a program where I help people access this funding and look for other opportunities, connect with communities using 0% interest funding. So click the link in the description. Someone from my team will reach out to you and strategize a game plan that's going to go into a little bit more of what we're talking about today. So let's get into it. So the first step that you're going to want to know when you're applying for 0% interest funding is actually opening up a business. Now, there are credit cards that you can get that do offer the 0% during the promotional period on the personal side, but there's also business cards. So why is it so much better to get a business credit card than a personal? I mean, there's a bunch of reasons. Number one, you can actually access higher credit limits. And typically we're seeing people being able to get 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 very easily compared to a personal. right? Where they would see maybe a 5, 10, 12,000. So you can actually get approved for way more money on a business credit card as opposed to personal credit cards. And number two, you can max out the business credit card with no impact to your credit score. So typically what happens when you max out a personal credit card is your credit score shoots down. And this is because there's a factor in your credit called credit card utilization. And this makes up for 30% of your overall score. So if you're maxing out something on your score, it's going to negatively impact your score. But if you apply with the right business cards, then that actually nothing happens to your personal. And you can actually leverage a ton of money and it's actually a good thing, right? For your business, good debt versus bad debt. So what we do inside my program is we help people who don't already have a business, create a business from scratch. Usually we help them walk through the process, that way that we help them with their address. That the bank can verify their address because they have to be a credible business. And once you form the LLC, then you can actually move on to the next step, which is making sure that your credit is ready before you apply. So the things that we're looking for when we're consulting, clients on how they can get approved for this abundant amount of business credit is we're looking to make sure they don't have a lot of late payments, derogatory marks, like collections, credit cards are paid down. We want the score to be as good as it's going to be before they apply. Sometimes we can let it slide with one late payment. For example, I had a client that would be able to access the larger amount of funding if she would wait and take care of the derogatory marks. But she is taking care of the derogatory marks. It's just taking a long time. So she can still access a smaller amount of capital, which would be around the $20,000, just so she could get started while the derogatory marks are getting removed, which would open her back up to receiving substantially more. But if they have a really good credit score, and typically what we're looking for is a 700, in some cases, nothing less than a 670, 680, but the sweet spot is definitely above 700, preferably above 740 to see some of those better results. So this is actually a really very simple step. You just want to make sure all your credit is ready to go. That way you get the best results possible and not have to do this twice or 3 times and end up having to wait 3 months to reapply. And the last thing that you want to do, guys, is apply for these cards when you are just not ready. You're going to get all of these inquiries on your personal credit. You're going to get all of these denials, and you're going to have to start all over again and wait for these inquiries. And with every single client that we work with, that we help apply for 0% interest funding, we always make sure that this step, we touch on this. We pull personal credit. It's a soft pull because we don't want to make sure that you're going to have to be applying again and again and again. Once you've made sure that your credit is good to go and you know exactly what it is, you move into the application process, right? This is going to make sure that, we're looking that you have the right business industry, you're not high risk, you have the right revenue numbers, you have the right business address, anything else that we're going to need to really put together your application, your loan package that really is going to improve your results. And another thing that we also do is actually help you with preparing any potential documentation that could help you leverage to get even more. Now, a lot of these business credit cards that you're applying to don't even require a lot of documentation, right, guys? Like typically you're seeing like you having to turn in a bunch of documentation for other programs, but for these type of programs, they're not needing a bunch of P&Ls and tax returns, P&L. They could really get by with your articles of incorporation. Now, not every business credit card, requires documentation. Most of the ones that, like I said, we're applying to, they don't have documentation. So your articles of incorporation, your EIN letter, that should be sufficient, right? There are some other documents you can provide, like statements, especially if you're receiving, payments creatively, right? Now, there's some tips and some different ways that you can be using this. You can use it to pay off debt. You can use it to consolidate debt. You can use it to buy inventory in bulk that you're gonna flip, right? You want to take advantage of that promotional pricing. You can use it to bridge a cash gap due to slow collections. You can use it for payroll and emergency services. If any of you were around, if any of you survived during COVID and during the emergency and all of that was going on, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. We've seen it happen, right? And now you can use this for fun. You can use it for repairs. You can use it for supplies. You can get the repairs you need. You can get the updates you need. You can really watch your business grow and you can really watch your business scale. So once you've prepared all of your documents and you've gathered everything that you need, and you don't need a whole lot, right? Except the ones that I mentioned earlier, articles of organization or your EIN letter, then we'll go ahead and we'll do a funding plan, right? We do your funding planning session, your opportunity session. And this is really, really important because your plan is essentially your layout. It's essentially the banks that you apply to in a particular order. So that way you can maximize how you're going to get the amount of money you get your hands on. And so what inquiries, that matters, right? All of these things we cover inside the program where we're helping businesses, we're helping entrepreneurs. And when you do these things in sequence and follow the right order, you can get up to $150,000. Sometimes people get 50, some people get $200,000 or more. But knowing what to do and knowing what to do in the right order and really taking the time and knowing what to do and putting it together in the right order, taking the time to be prepared, doing your research, putting your funding plan together. It's going to be extremely important because everyone has a different funding plan. That's the really cool part, right? Every business is unique. So we really tailor every funding plan to our client. So take time on this stuff because afterwards, the next step is applying. And some places you have to walk into the bank. Some places you can go online. Some places you can do this entirely over the phone. Other places through email. But you want to make sure that you have a really good funding plan in place before you just go out there and apply. So guys, there's really not that much to it after that. This works for, like I said, everyday purchases, or you have an investment opportunity, a coaching opportunity, a mentorship opportunity, or a program that you want to invest in. You have an emergency funding coming up. You need it for startup capital. You're generating revenue, but you quickly started generating revenue and you don't meet the time and business requirements. If you're looking for other opportunities, we can point you in the right direction. Our members, our investors, and other events and other things that are going on. That way you don't have to trial and error business opportunities or investments by yourself. You can actually take advantage of what's already working for people. And, we really want to grow this incredible group, of people who are actually leveraging credit to make money. So people coming in from real estate, from buying a business, from e-commerce, from trucking, from retail, any manufacturing, any business model you can think of, where we've helped entrepreneurs access business credit and leverage business opportunities. You're able to surround yourself with other like-minded entrepreneurs and really get a feel for what could work for you and what's working for other people. So really, it's as easy as that. Those are the steps to go from 0% interest funding, how you can leverage it and then get access to it, and then, get access to starting your business and putting that into any opportunities that you want. So guys, make sure that you're liking, you're subscribing. If you found this information helpful, then go ahead and show your love, show your support, help this channel grow, because the more that we grow, the more people we're able to reach, the more business we're able to reach, the more mentors we're able to bring on, and business we're able to highlight. And very excited for some programs that we have coming up where we're highlighting some really, really cool programs, guys. Businesses all across the US, okay? So I'm Dominique. Like, share, subscribe to this channel if you found this information helpful, and make sure that you tune in every Tuesday and Thursday for more resources on how you can access capital for your business and come into the community. Click the description in the link below and let's get you funded.